All right, Taylor.
Yeah, I just wanted to take the opportunity to read something really short that I kind of put together. I don't intend to spark debate or even try to gain unanimous support, although I simply want to educate myself and listen and acknowledge the request of a resolution, which goes like this. To join cities and towns across the state to condemn brutality that has occurred in recent weeks, and to recognize this as a defining moment in history, and as such be compelled to speak with unified voices to help our communities strive for peace, healing, and equal justice for all. And that resolution came to us in an email, and I just thought it was important to share.
Thanks.
I'm not sure if anybody has any comments, but like I said, I just wanted to contribute that.
I've actually agonized over this quite a bit since that request was made. And I have discussed it with a lot of people whose experience and opinions I really value, and have just thought about the issue a lot on my own. And while I have really strong feelings about it, I am not really sure that the select board, should be in the position of speaking for the entire town, because we don't know that we do. And I also am reluctant to politicize the select board. And I know that it was suggested that this was a non-political issue, and I beg to differ. I think it's deeply political. And I fear that I'll just say that I don't think, it's my personal opinion that it's not the select board's position to take on political issues.
I fully agree.
I agree as well.
Yeah. Oh.
Jim, did you have something you wanted to say?
No. No, I'm just trying to figure out if I'm muted or not.
No, we can hear you.
No, I agree with you. Although if there it's never been a better time in our country's history to put things aside and come together, I don't think it's our responsibility to speak for everyone.
I think we all made a pretty solid commitment when we swore an oath to uphold the Constitution when we all became members of the Select Board. I feel like any other kind of resolution to support equality is just redundant. I think we should focus on the town and not get involved too much in national politics or try to claim to be any kind of moral authority for the town.
Anyway.
I agree.
Taylor, can you send me a copy of your of what you just read so that I can get it correct for the minutes?
Where did that email come from, Taylor?
It came from a resident of Weston.
Okay.
Actually, it came from a resident of Londonderry. Bob Wells sent that, having been forwarded it by a resident of Weston who made the request of Weston's select board.
Right, okay.
Bruce?
And just so you know, Weston did pass the resolution with no discussion and no opposition. They just like, okay, fine, and moved on. But obviously, there's deeper thinkers here, but I didn't say that.
Is
Well,
this
then
something we should put on for the next meeting and let people know if they want to talk about it? The citizenry?
I think if the citizenry wants to talk about it, they already are. And if it's important enough, then it should probably wait until town meeting day when everyone can have a say.
Okay, cool.
Peter? Peter?
I had to unmute myself. So I won't take a lot of your time because you seem to have a long agenda. I know what that's like. I don't see this as a political issue. I see it as a social justice issue. I hear voices all over this state and all over this country stepping forward and not being silent on this issue. And I hear that I'm in the minority here tonight, and so it won't be the first time. But I think this is a great opportunity for all our civic leaders to stand up and explicitly address this issue that affects everyone in the state, in this country, and is important. There are people out there that are hurting and have been hurting for a long time, and we're all Vermonters, we're all Americans, and we ought to use the voice and the platform we have to address something as simple as racial justice for everyone. And I hear Vincent, and hi Vincent, nice to meet you. I hear that you took an oath, but I took the same oath when I was a select board member, and I bet you that there were issues like this that came up and everyone was silent across the country. And we were silent. And I don't think silent cuts it anymore, because I think when we're silent, it's part of the problem. We've all been silent too long. And for me, this is not a political issue, it's a social justice issue. And I think that the only way to make change is for the folks that have a voice and a platform to set the agenda on social justice issues, on racial justice issues. And I think it's an opportunity for everyone at every level of government, everyone who has the voice and the platform to say something, because silence has been the problem all along. And once we stop being silent, that's how we're going to get change made. And so I know it may be uncomfortable, but sometimes it's compared to some of the discomfort that other people in this world are suffering, other people in our state are suffering. I think we ought to, as a town, come forward and make a statement that this is wrong and that we should rally around our fellow Americans and make some change that's lasting. So thanks for listening.
I appreciate that. This is not an issue of being silent. I'm actually being fairly vocal here, that it's not our position. I mean, which still feel like if we jump on this bandwagon, and I hate to use the slippery slope argument, but I feel like every single time that there's something going on in the country, we're going to be expected to make a decision on how we as a board feel about it. And that shouldn't be our jobs. That's not our jobs. Our jobs is to keep our focus on the town. And maybe if we wanted to consider a resolution as a town where we're more focused on promoting equality, promoting, the standards that we all have and we all know we have as Americans, that's different. But going out and condemning an action that's so far outside of our town's jurisdiction, I feel like it's not our place. And It's not a matter of silence versus being vocal. It's about accepting what we have control over and what our sphere of influence is. I mean, that's all. I'll leave it at that.
I feel like
I can-
historically, our town has always put this stuff up to a vote for the full town at a town meeting. And it's too big of an issue for the 5 of us to decide for the town.
And if it's important enough, it can wait for the entire town to speak on it. Doesn't have to be decided right now. It's not like the eyes of the entire world are on this select board meeting. They've already gotten their victory in Weston.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Peter.
You're welcome. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the rest of your meeting.